Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I certainly am. The weather here in Minnesota is just absolutely beautiful for this later part of October. Today I'm going to do an outdoor method and an indoor method, which I will show you those steps later. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to smoke a chuck roast. All right, this is a little over 2.5 pounds of chuck roast. And in order to smoke it, I'm going to cure it first. And in this bowl here, I've got 3 tablespoons of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. The salt is a sea salt. You can use whatever kind of salt, just make sure it's fine ground, okay? So that's in this bowl. I'm going to open up this package and we want to check this roast out, trim any excess fat off, and then we'll get it prepared for the grill outside. So let me get that camera closer to the action and show you what we got to do. Okay, for this method you don't need a lot of dishes. Okay, we need a cutting board, and I usually always use my nylon board when I'm working on any raw meat. Okay, so let's pull that chuck roast out of the package, put it on the board. All right, so we got our chuck roast on our cutting board, and I just want to trim off any excess fat, but honestly this doesn't really have much. You can do a lot of this in post cooking. We're going to smoke this chuck roast. There's a little bit of silver skin on here too. Just like that. Now this fat in here I'm not going to worry about. It's already in deep into this meat. When I get this finished cooking, I will pull all that out later. It'll all be part of its flavor though. It's a chunk of fat here. I'll take this off. All right, so that's pretty clean. I'm gonna put it right on my tray. Set my tray back there. And again, we're just gonna sprinkle this over the roast. Now this cure is usually done on raw products. You might ask yourself, well, what are you gonna smoke the chuck roast for? Well, that's a whole nother step. This is basically going to be a 2-day project, because what I'm going to do after this is smoked, I'm going to sous vide it, and I'm going to sous vide it in an El Pastor sauce. I'm going to use it for tacos. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so we almost got our cure all on there. And what I want to do the edges too, so kind of roll it up on the side here, get a little bit on the outside of the edges. You're going to basically use all of this sugar salt mixture that you have. Just kind of try to distribute it evenly as much as you can. Okay, we're done. I'm going to leave the cure on here for 45 minutes. In that 45-minute time frame, probably half the way through, I will flip it over so it distributes the salt and sugar throughout the meat a little bit more evenly. All right, let's get the timer set. I'm going to flip it now. It's been halfway through the process of curing. Flip it over. And you can see already the juice is sweating out of the meat. That's exactly what you want. All right, this is one part of the process. So this one here, we're gonna finish this up. We got another 20 minutes roughly. And that's the time. All right. So that's 45 minutes. And I flipped it over halfway through the curing process. Rinse it off really good with that water. I'm gonna take this tray and just rinse it quick. And we're gonna put that right back on top of there. Okay. Put that down, and I have a little screen here. This is for my air fryer. I'm going to use this as a drying rack in a sense. Okay, so pull that meat out of there, set it down. Now what I'll do next is I will pat it a little bit drier with paper towels. Okay, so once you're at this stage of your curing process where you're letting your meat dry up a little bit and getting tacky for the grill, this is when you should start your charcoal grill. Okay, because you don't want to start it too early. It'll be on too long and you'll get it too hot, especially if you're using charcoal. You want to keep your temperature on your grill between 150 and 180, and that is basically it. So this is really important. I would start my grill at this stage of your curing process. All right. Okay, I'm back out at my grill and I'm going to add my hickory wood to this because my beef upstairs is just about done. Let's go ahead and throw your wood chunks right on the top of the charcoal there. And we're gonna put that grate back on the top. And again, make sure it's on your top level. Now that wood will start to smolder a little bit, which is what we want. So let's go ahead and let that catch a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. Just like so. I'm gonna keep my vents wide open until that wood catches on a little bit, and then we'll bring our beef down. Okay. Back at the grill, and look at this thing smoke. And it's only been going for about 5 minutes. Whew. Wow, okay. Now the wood will probably catch on fire when you open the door, which it just did. That's fine. But we're gonna close this back down, and make sure you close your vents a little bit, close more. And let's set a timer for 45 minutes. Now again, I'll come out here at the halfway point and I'll flip it. You don't totally have to, but I like to do it because you'll see it get nice and darker on the one side. Again. But look at this, I'll open this back up again to show you. Look at that smoke. This thing is gonna be amazing. Okay, I'm back out at my grill and it's halfway through the smoking time. So let's lift that up and I'm gonna flip the roast over. Look at that. Look at how nice that is. Oh my gosh. This, my friends, is gonna make an amazing taco, okay? I know it's a lot of meat, but we're gonna freeze some of it too. All right, let's close her down. We got a little bit more than 20 minutes left, and I'm going to start getting my multi-cooker ready for sous vide, because that's going to be our second step in this part of the cooking process, okay? And there you go. So that's 45 minutes of smoke. Let's see what the backside looks like. Look at that. Beautiful. Lovely chuck roast upstairs. And okay, so I wanted to show you these two pieces of equipment. So this is my Joule. That's my immersion water circulator to sous vide. And that one has an app that goes with it. It's really slick. And I use it to check different recipes once in a while. Now this is my wolf-multicooker. This thing is fantastic. I love this piece of equipment. I can sous vide in here too. If you look here, there's a little icon here that's for the probe, and it says 160. So right now my water is at 160 degrees, and I'll show you inside here. There's the probe there. And the probe actually goes into the side of the multi-cooker down at the bottom there. Cool down. I'm going to go ahead and put this chuck roast in my Ziploc bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the top edge down a little bit to try to keep this upper part clean, okay? Now you could vacuum pack this as well, but you don't really need to. And my vacuum bags aren't big enough for this piece of beef anyway. So let's go ahead and try to slide that in there. Trying to stay clean. And let's move that. And look at that, fits right in, perfect. Okay, dump some of the sauce in there. I don't know that I'm using all of it. I think we don't need to. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna zip lock this bag for a second so I can mix it all together really good. That's pretty much all you gotta do. I'll go ahead and pop this back open. And it is completely coated with the El Pastor sauce. All right, what do we do next? We get it into our water bath and we start to sous vide our beef. Now, I didn't know how much water I needed in here for the displacement. We're gonna need more water in here than this. Now, I don't seal the top of the bag. I leave the bags open. And what I'm going to do is, once I get enough water in here, I would need to cover this up a little bit more, because the thing about sous vide is you're cooking underwater, and it's basically without oxygen. So we need to add more water to that reservoir. Good. All right, now let's go ahead and let that down inside there, we're going to let some air out of our bag. So you just want to get all the air out. So you kind of push your bag down without going too far. You don't want water to fill into the bag, but you want all that air out of the bag. Okay, so what I decided to do is I went ahead and zip-locked the bag just to close it, just in case it decides to slide down into the water. I didn't want that to happen, but I'm still going to use the cover to hold it up against that probe, and that should keep it from falling down too much. But I think it's going to be perfect. It's underwater. It's exactly what you need. You need all that, pretty much most of that air out of that bag when you're putting it underwater. Anyway, we're going to show you what it looks like in 24 hours from now. Okay, everyone, guess what? It is 24 hours later. Pull that cover up, and there we go. And look it there. All right. Okay, so I just dropped it into a different container. And the fork goes in nice and easy. Again, I've never done a chuck roast like this before. I think it might be just a little tough still, honestly. I did that, I've done beef tongue, and that came out so nice and tender. This is still a little bit on the tough side. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think we're just going to cook it longer. Okay, so that was 24 hours. I think I'm going to pop it back in that Ziploc bag. Okay, go ahead and cover it back up. Keep the heat in. And there you go. All right, we're going to cook it for another 12 hours, guys. And see if it tenders up. Again, I'm using this for tacos, so I need the beef to be nice and tender for the tacos. Okay, everyone. Well, this is the moment of truth. This chuck roast has been cooking for 36 hours. And actually, if you Google it, it'll say sous vide chuck roast can take anywhere between 24 and 36 hours. I think it has a lot to do with what size it is. Didn't really describe that, but this was almost, this is over 2.5 pounds. Look at that. Put that fork in there. Oh yeah, a lot tender. Oh yeah, it's pulling right apart. There you go. Let's take a taste. That is fantastic. All right, I'm just gonna take it out of the water bath. Okay guys, I'm gonna do a recap on my smoked chuck roast, which I sous vide for 36 hours. Again, it doesn't matter what type of equipment you have to do sous vide method of cooking. That's up to you, whichever item or product you like. I have the Joule and I have my Wolf multi-cooker. I really like the Wolf multi-cooker. It works really well for this, and it has other functions which I really like, slow cooking and things like that. Anyway, hopefully the video was easy enough to follow along with and you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a couple thumbs up, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 and please leave me any comments. I would appreciate those. Also, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Subscriptions do not cost you any money. They just let you know when a video has been put out there. Again, at the end of the video, I will show you what everything looked like when we dished it up. Again, I'm using this for tacos. This is cooked in El Pastor sauce. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I'll probably do a little twist on it. I'll probably do sort of like fajita style with a little bit of peppers and onions too. I'm also going to I'm working on another recipe, and I'm going to add a new video after this one. I'm doing charro beans, so I use pintos to make that. So stay tuned for that video. It'll be coming out in a few days here. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day. Chef Leroy and out. And thanks for watching My Cozy Kitchen.